What's up everybody, hope you have an amazing day so far. I'm Phil, and today's video we're going to do a little bit different thing than we do usually on the channel. We're going to check out some products from gravitystands. Let's roll that intro clip and then let me explain what it's all about. Usually we guitar players are all after the newest, shiniest thing. Pedals, amplifiers, guitars, pickups, and what else not. And what we often just push away and never think about are accessories. I myself am far too guilty of this behavior of pushing acquisitions which I desperately need each time where I do take the plunge and invest into these kind of accessories. I'm so happy that I did it, and I asked myself, why didn't I do that earlier? So in the vein of breaking that chain, breaking that habit, I want to talk today about one of the companies which are producing a lot of the accessories which I'm absolutely loving and digging in my studio setup over here, and that is gravitystands. Gravitystands is a subsidiary of the by now Germany-based Atom Hall Group, which has a lot of different companies under their umbrella, for example, LD Systems, Palmer, and also gravitystands, among a few others. Really interesting portfolio, mainly tailored towards accessories in the music industry. So all from live racks to wireless stuff like the LD System stuff to gravitystands, which then are more the prosumer-based, you know, like stands, lighting setups, or accessories. All of that stuff kind of runs under gravitystands. My personal first contact with gravitystands products was round about 10 years ago when we stopped searching for a singer in my band Tempest, and I then just overtook the vocal lyrics. I needed something where I could read off my lyrics from. Back then I didn't want to use a smartphone for that. I still hate doing that. I like the lyrics printed out. So I needed basically a traveler sheet music holder and wanted to clamp that to the mic stand because I think that music sheet holders look super lame, but that's just me. However, I wanted to have that and I was searching for that, and I could not really find anything until I stumbled upon the Gravity NSMS02, which I still use to this day on every rehearsal. It's holding my lyrics, it's holding my picks, it's holding my in-ear monitoring system. So I'm kind of using that as an extended table, so to speak, which is clamped to my mic stand. Works absolutely reliable from day one, and I was totally floored by how simple but yet awesome this product was. And over the years, Gravity products have found its way all over my studio setup and are nowadays, I would say, daily drivers of what I'm doing over here. But we're gonna get into that in a moment. I first want to talk about the reasoning for doing this video, because as you might have guessed, this video is in fact sponsored by gravitystands. They sent me a whole bunch of different stuff, but we're going to talk about the why in a moment and also what they sent. So as you can see over here in the background, I got a drum kit built up in this room. The reason for that is we are currently recording with my band Tempest our upcoming album, The Great Filter, which is going to be released somewhere in the second half of this year. But if you record drums, you also need mic stands. We had quite some mic stands in our portfolio already, but there were like a potpourri of different brands, different quality standards, and all of that. And it was kind of annoying to work with that. So I reached out to gravitystands on my own behalf and I said, listen up, I'm a daily user of your products anyways. I think they are amazing. Why don't we collaborate? And you sent me the mic stands for the drum recording, and I therefore am gonna make a video about the drum recording itself. That's gonna be a future video where I showcase the mic stands, and I'm also gonna make a video about your products in general because I think that they really add value to anybody making music, making content like I do. And happily they agreed to do so, so I'm super stoked to show basically what I got over here from Gravity. I do want to mention though, although this is sponsored content and you are more than fair to take anything which I say with a grain of salt, you'll get my honest opinion about these products. I really stand behind these things. They are, for a reason, daily drivers of the channel. A lot of this stuff is not actually sent by gravitystands but paid with my own money, so just keep that in mind. I'm a fan of the brand, and I thought it's cool to work with them. Without any further ado, let's now check out what gravitystands actually has to offer. In the first segment of this video, I want to showcase the guitar stands which gravitystands have in their portfolio. Two different types at least. One are the multi-guitar stands over here, which I got on this side, and one then is this RGB lighted beauty over here. Let's first check the G series, I believe it's called. So this is the G3 stand. This can fit up to 3 guitars. This particular stand is so awesome. I really love it. It's one of my daily drivers. You have seen it basically on all of my videos on my YouTube channel. And this has been on tour through Europe with my band, basically. Still works as on day one. So I'm very, very happy with the overall quality. Let me just quickly take these guitars out over here and showcase how this works. I hope that you can see good enough what's happening over here. So it's super simple. You actually just have to enter a few screws in there, just build it up together. And you got this thing which you can raise. It clamps over here into 2 screws, which, you know, like it sets, then it's fixed in its position. And if you want to build it up together, you can do as so. So now you got that up over here through the rubber like resistance this is holding in place. And these neck grips over here, you can turn and twist them and take them off. I just twist them downward like so. And then you can clap all of this together and you got a super portable multi-guitar stand, which you then can easily set up on stage. You just get up on stage like so, put that in there, make sure that you are clamped in correctly, put that in place, and you're good to go. So that is super easy, super convenient when you are on tour. And what proves the fact that I'm such a fan of these guitar stands is I not only have the G3, I have the G5 as well, which can hold 5 guitars in it. And not only that, I also got the G9 over here. There's also a G7, which I personally didn't use or needed in the studio setup. So these are the 3 guitar stands which I got, which have this multi-guitar stand functionality. Let me put that back. So we can actually look at this beauty over here. This has been sent to me by Gravitystands in alignment with our video because I want to showcase this. And yeah, this is just, you know, just for bragging rights. This looks awesome. You can turn the LEDs off or back on via just pressing over here. And here you can change the colors. So what we have over here is blue. Now we got like a greenish. Now it's more of a purple color. Hang on. White and red. So you got a lot of different colors. It looks just awesome. The guitar holds here really well. It's easy to build up. I made a short on YouTube and Instagram showcasing these guitar stands. We're gonna have some clips right now running, some B-roll footage of the guitar stands as well. Let's check out mic stands. As the name Gravitystands implies, they also have a ton of different mic stands. Unfortunately, it's quite hard to make visually exciting content for thin black metal pipes, but let's anyways try. Let's start with the Touring series. Beautiful black visuals, no rubber materials used. They make an awesomely stealthy appearance both on stage and in the studio, and weighing in around 6 kilograms, boy are they heavy and sturdy. I love how easily the main screw for setting the boom arm angle is clamped and how stable it remains. These mic stands have not moved a millimeter since I first set them up, which is a testimony to the quality. Where cheaper mic stand options fail, these deliver flawlessly. Next up in the lineup, the HDB series. These series are very similar to Gravity's standard mic stand series, but have a heavier base, ensuring also heavier mics being properly counterweighted and stay in position at all times. It might be the brand chasing kid inside me, but I personally love the signature neon green rubber rings which come with it, and also the clamping mechanism to prolong boom arm is much more appreciated than the screwing clamps used on other brands. Last, but definitely not least, are the quite new overhead mic stands from Gravity. These can be set up really high, exceeding way above 2 meters. They are very similar to the Touring series mics, heavy, sturdy, stealthy. While our recording situation did not call for dedicated overhead mics, these came greatly in handy for a throwaway room mic sitting in the upper corner of the recording space. Most of the stand types are available in different sizes, making it easy to also mic up the lower components of the drum kit, as for example the floor tom and the snare bottom. Having the option to choose from different bass types, like a round bass versus the tripod bass type, gives you the freedom you need in order to ensure everything is mic'd up properly without interfering with the musician in question. I know for certain that our drummer Gabor deeply appreciates the newfound freedom via our new mic stand setup. Another product range which I'm a huge fan of are the Vari-Grips. Now I got two different Vari-Grips. I got the Vari-Grip L and the Vari-Grip M. So there we go. So these are small clamps which I often use for secondary camera angles, and they work pretty simple. You just go ahead and you screw them onto the surface which you want to plant them onto, and with a single screw over here, so you open the screw and they're fully movable in all dimensions. So let's open that up really, so you can really see I can now very, very flexibly set up everything which I want to have. For example, if I want to have like a camera which is showing in this particular direction, like so, then I can do that. Let me just grab one of the camera stands. Gonna take the YOLO cam over here. So now I can take the YOLO cam and I can just screw it on, like so. And there you go. I have a second angle going up, plugging in the USB cable, and now I can film right up in my crotch where I'm playing guitar and holding the guitar, having a second angle. Super useful for that stuff. The L version can easily hold like a small DSLR, like the Sony ZV-E10, which I have over here, so that is absolutely possible. And this over here, the smaller one, I use often for my smartphone. So I just go ahead, clamp this down over here. I got this thing attached to it where I can just basically mount in my smartphone. And now I can actually do filming with that angle. So now you can see over here in the screen, I actually got my smartphone set up for a second angle. So I often also just use this if I do like conferencing calls with my smartphone and I just don't want to hold my smartphone or have like this view from above my chin. I just hang it over there, put on the conference call, and then just have the call with the respective person. Works really well. I'm super happy with this product range over here. I think, yeah, these are maybe the most utilitarian but super useful and convenient things which I've bought in years. So this is super awesome. Another accessory I want to showcase are these amp clamp arms, for lack of a better term, where you can mount up a microphone on there. These are super, super convenient for smaller stages where you don't really have the space to place a mic stand in front. I regularly play on those small stages, so I do appreciate the small form factor. Now, how this basically works is you got the spring-loaded mechanism over here where you can pull this out a little bit. And then you have this arm where you can move this basically around, and you can also shift the microphone on this axis through this thread over here. So really cool. This gives you all the flexibility you need and all the dimensions you need. There are two main ways in which I personally use this over here. One would be with a smaller amp head which does not cover the full cabinet, like an EVH 5150 50 watt. Then I would place this on top over here. So, hang on, like so, and then like so. Super convenient, and you are finished within seconds with miking up your microphone. An alternative would be that you then use them sideways. This also works pretty well.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly on the X point over here, but I could with some minor adjustments. This works absolutely fantastic as well. There are a lot of other ways how you can actually use these clamp arms. And yeah, in fact, I'm going to show you how this over here is basically one of the main elements of the channel.
All right, just to showcase another way how to use these amp clamps over here, I got my main microphone for video content connected to this quick ball joint connector or whatever it's called, the MSQT1, I believe it is. I'm gonna have a screenshot over here in the video. And then I got the amp clamp arm basically over here on this upper top, because this has a similar width like cabinets, which is pretty cool. Say hi to the Bautruckle. And yeah, that works super well. It's way more space saving than these large mic arms, which extend from the side of your table, which I had before. So I got rid of that one just to save a little bit space. And yeah, this setup works perfectly well. I can unscrew this over here, push the mic a little bit up so I got more, like real estate on looking at my screen, or I can pull that then down when I'm doing video content creation. Super awesome. Man, I'm just looking over here at all of these different utilitarian things, and I'm reminded how important they are for my daily work. Now, I personally would recommend that you go ahead to gravitystands webpage. Going to be down here, and it's also going to be in the description below. I think there's a ton of good stuff in their portfolio. I'm super happy that they exist, that they offer the products they do. I'm a huge fan. Sponsored or not, I would anyways go ahead and recommend them to everybody wholeheartedly. Let's wrap up this video with these closing thoughts. What kind of gravity products do you have? What is your experience with them? Let me know down below in the comments. I would be super happy if we could engage in some form of discussion over here. I want to thank Gravitystands for sponsoring this video by sending over all of the different mic stands and also the guitar stand. It looks absolutely phenomenal. The mic stands are working incredibly well. I'm super happy with the results we're getting so far, and I am super eager to show you what we're doing with the drum recordings, how the drums are sounding. That's going to be in a future video. For now, I want to thank everybody watching this video, and we're going to see each other hopefully in the next video. Until then, keep it metal.